Well, welcome to the bench, everybody. We got a fun one today. We have got a really fun one, and I'm just going to dig right in because I got a lot of work to do. So we're going to get started without any hesitation. Today I'm setting up a it is a Jackson Chinese-built Jackson Dinky. I believe it's a model JS22, and we're going to be doing some work to make sure that the springs in this instrument are quiet, and then we're going to change the string gauge from 10s to 9s and set the tuning for this instrument to D standard. So a full step below our typical E standard tuning. So we'll get you right here in on what I'm up to here. I'm cutting little foam strips here that will go inside the springs to quiet those down, make sure that there's no noise or interference from the springs rattling when he's using this whammy bar. I've done work on this guitar on my channel before. The young man who owns this instrument plays in a local metal band, and he's also one hell of a bluegrass picking son of a gun. His little brother is a student of mine, and this guy is just a classic gentleman, farmer, and just a really good friend. Super cool dude. So we're going to go ahead and push the foam through the springs, and there's a multitude of ways of doing this. This is my choice. This is what I've done on my own. Floyd Rose impregnated is what I call them, instrument. Just get enough of that in there to seat and keep that thing from ringing. Push that through a little bit more. Let's see, we've got, yeah, there we go. And then we'll just insert it in the instrument. I like to space my springs evenly. There's the whole, centered thing. I don't know. That's a subject of great debate. I hope everybody's having a really great Saturday. How many days in a row have we worked? Well, you. I'm working with my friend Joey, who is learning to repair instruments and becoming a pretty valuable commodity around these parts. It's really awesome. He's a high school student and loves playing D&D, loves playing guitar, loves working on them. So we're having a good time. It's neat to see a young person with some interest in this sort of work, and it's great to see him learning. So we've got our foam in here. Push that back. I got a little crazy with that one. I'll push it back in there. Now, when the young man who owns this guitar is whammying, these springs will be nice and quiet, and there won't be any noise emitted from them. Now we are going to have to make adjustments to the string tree back here, or the claw. Some people call it a claw. There we go. Get those springs in there. And some Ibanez guitars, they have a little keeper here over these springs so they won't pop out of there. But if one of those popped out of there, that would be a pretty big miracle if that ever happened.
I'm gonna go get packed, boys.
Okay.
I feel like I'm abandoning you, but
We're fine.
I know you're gonna be fine. I just like to circumvent as much of the coming in if I can, because I love you guys working on stuff.
Well, I think we got your pickup dialed in pretty good. We brought the gain back on that just a little bit.
Oh,
so
you can put it wherever you want. If it needs
yeah.
to go way back, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you think.
I don't want it to be too hot. You're
No, I
going to
don't
be plugging
either.
into somebody else's system tonight, so
Yeah.
yeah, avoid that. The rookie
Was
sound
it
guy.
pretty nasty, Joey?
You wash your hands before you play guitar, man.
Oh, well, I know. I do, but then if you're playing, and where I really break down is What's even more important is I don't wipe it down when it goes back in. I end up talking, you know.
Yeah. Do you sweat much when you play?
Not a ton.
Yeah. Your guitars don't seem to get real gritty and dirty and stuff,
No.
although...
I'm not one of those guys like Al. He plays a guitar and it's just...
Yeah. It's like he got out of the shower
Yeah.
with his clothes on. Yep.
All right, guys. I'll see you in a little while.
All right.
See if I can pick my stuff up.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and put these strings on this here Jackson by Floyd Rose. Now, the last time I worked on this instrument, I remember that I was having a real difficult time getting the string action down on this thing where I think it should be. And so we may end up doing a little bit of extra work on this thing to see if we've got some frets that are tall. Because this is a typical, very much a shredder guitar, is what I like to call them. And we want this string action to be nice and low. We're putting 9s on this and we're tuning it down to D standard. So these things are going to be pretty, strings are going to be pretty floppity. They'll be loose. And so this will be a bit of a change for the owner in the feel of this guitar that he's had 10s on for quite some time. So we're going to go ahead and get the strings on her and see what we end up with. Using Ernie Ball's Super Slinkies on this thing. And the Floyd will continue to raise up. Oscar, hello, man. Oh, yeah. Jackson by Floyd Rose, yeah. Okay, cool. I don't play a lot of Beatles music. I haven't learned a lot of their covers. I mean, who could do it better, but I can imagine. I love D standard, and in fact, I've kind of gone to that on my acoustic guitar on a couple of original tunes that I've recorded that nobody's heard yet. But seems to be, for me, a great key for my tonal or my pitch register. It seems to work really nicely. Now, beyond just doing the string change on this, I've already, last night, took a preemptive strike and cleaned off a bunch of what appeared to be like sticker gum. There's still, I'm seeing little remnants of it on here, so it's been, this stuff was hard to get off of here. But we'll get it. We'll make this thing pretty. You know, this is the most exciting part, is putting the strings on a guitar. Now I did, it's been about 2.5 years since I worked on this instrument, and at that time we polished the frets and did a neck treatment with linseed oil. And I've done that. I did that last night. You guys don't need to watch me do that. I've done that on, I don't even know how many broadcasts, so I save you the agony of watching me do that. But if you do own a Floyd Rose impregnated guitar, this is how I put the strings on one. Do not leave the ball end and do not leave the windings on your string. If you leave that stuff, you're going to end up with a broken string. I almost guarantee that. Just cut the entire winding off of the string. These blocks will hold the string in place, and it's been done like that for decades. So don't leave this stuff on there. Cut it all off. There you go. It's one of the best pieces of advice I can give somebody that has a guitar with a Floyd Rose on it. While I'm working on this beautiful Jackson over here at my bench, Joey's working on a beautiful Martin acoustic guitar over on his bench. And so we got a couple of pretty sweet guitars that we're working on today. It's kind of fun. We are busy, very busy. And the phone will ring. You grab that, thank you.
The Grand Stereo Music.
All right. And if anybody wants to call, our number here is 541-963-5933. I've been called by a couple of people during live streams. That's kind of fun. Gary Hubbs got me once. That was fun. Timothy, welcome, man. Super slinky means super light gauge. Yeah, D standard. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Put the ball in through the tube. Yeah, that's one way to do it. I've found, Timothy, I've owned a Floyd Rose impregnated Ibanez I bought it in 1988, and the way I'm doing this is how I found it to be the fastest way to get strings on a Floyd Rose impregnated instrument. My knees hurt. Welcome. So I gotta put the ball ends through the tuning peg. Yeah, that is a common way, and we could do that certainly on this one, but then you end up with these ball ends up hanging off the machine heads. Of course, you can cut them off, but as you can see, I just snip them off and then put the string on like I would any other guitar. I do take the locking nut parts out of there. It just gets them out of the way, and wind them like I would on any other instrument. This way I know that I have good tuning stability. That's experience, not opinion talking there. This is how I've put strings on my own Floyd Rose impregnated guitar since 1988. That's a long time, 35 years, something like that, right? And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my opinion. Need to see a close-up on. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll show you that, Timothy. Let me. I'll move the camera here. My camera guy's been drinking a lot, so. All right, so one other thing is that when I'm putting the strings in and the blocks down here, I really do my best to get them dead center on those blocks. It just, to me, looks cleaner. And my boy that owns this guitar owns a dog also, I can tell, because there's dog fur in here. Get rid of that. There we go. All right. So, and I'll take you up to the top end and show you what I'm doing here, and why I feel like what I'm doing is actually better than running the ball in through the here. Again, it's habit, but pull the string, and on the unwound strings I do 1, 2, 3 wraps, and then over the top, through the hole, over the top of my windings. And what this does for you is keeps everything looking tidy, and if you break a string at a gig, if you've pushed this through in the middle of the windings or whatever, you may have a hell of a time getting the string off of the instrument. It can really tie things up, and if you're at a gig and you break a string, you should be able to swap a string out in no time flat. And so that's why, a big reason why I do this. And the other thing is that I've been putting strings on my own guitars in that method, exact method, since I think I put my first set of strings on a guitar, acoustic guitar, in 81 or 82. I was 10 years old, and the guy at my church showed me how to do that. That's how he showed me how to do it. I've never changed that way, and my guitars hold tune. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's a million ways to put strings on an instrument, but this is what I've found for me to be the most efficient, quick way, and tuning stability. I mean, I don't know if there's anything better. So again, we'll put this one on, and I'll go back up to the top end of the guitar and show you my winding. The treble E string, especially with 9-gauge strings, it can, ooh, I got that a little tight. These can get wound up on you a little bit, so you want to be careful when you're winding it around the machine head, we'll get there here in a minute, they'll want to cross over the top of one another, so you got to kind of manage that with your fingernail and such. That's why I usually keep my thumbnail, it's kind of dirty today, but I keep a little bit of extra nail on that one. My fingernails are just a mess. I was playing guitar this morning, so again, one, let me get you pointed at the business here. 2 wraps, 3 wraps. I use my thumbnail to hold the string down, and I push the string over the top of my windings. And this is where stuff likes to get a little tangled up, but it looks like this one's going to cooperate. And then what I can do, after I've got that wound, I can grab the string here and pull back on it and get those windings to line up on the machine head, so that I've got good tension on that string. Ooh, and that just happened, and it does. I didn't get the I did not get the tightening block or the lock block tight enough, and it happens. So now I've got a mess up here to deal with. This is the first time this has happened in a very long time for me. So again, I didn't have my string down in here far enough. That one popped loose, and this will happen once in a while. I have extra blocks, so this block might be a little bit worn, but I'm going to go ahead and tighten it a little bit tighter. And now what I'm faced with, I'm going to change this string out. I'm not going to use this one. This string got kinked in that little accident that I had there. The wonderful thing about working at a guitar shop, I've got extra strings laying all over the place. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. It's never the end of the world, right? All right. So we've got a new 9-gauge string here. Cut the end of that thing off. It's not always perfect, and this is a big reason why guys won't do live guitar repair videos. A lot of guys won't, because stuff like this happens, and then guys like Quentin James post it all over the internet because they post the one fuck up that the guy might do, and don't share all the other knowledgeable cool stuff that the guy does. But that was hilarious. So again, you can watch what I do here on this. 1, 2, 3 wraps on the unwound strings over the top of your windings. Pull the string taut back here at the other end. As you can see, I've got some tension on this string and keeping it nice and tight. And cinch it up. Okay, so we're gonna tune this to a D standard. So Timothy, I hope that helped you with your Oh, 594, cool. My guitar says extended scale. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you get those longer. That's neat to know, Oscar. Where are my wall pedals? Just push them. That's my advice. I need suggestions for nut files. StuMac, yep. They are crazy expensive, and you get what you pay for. I bought mine. My set of nut files is probably 7 or 8 years old. I bought what are my nut files are Hosco brand. They came in a set. I'll just show you. Let's see my set for. This is probably my most used set. They're these guys, made in Japan, and these might be hard to find now. I don't know. But this is a set of files for a set of Ernie Ball Slinkies. And I have it noted on here for a set of 10s. Those are the ones that I use. They are definitely heavily used files. That's what I recommend. And I don't know if you can even find these anymore. I don't know if they're still made. And I haven't bought new nut files for a long time. So, and here's my snark that broke yesterday. The built-in failure on these is this little part right here. That will break eventually if you own one of those. It kind of sucks that they're that fragile, but that's the deal. So we're relieving the tension of these strings, and I can already tell that I'm not going to have the right angle down here on the bridge. So time to bust out the old screwdriver and adjust that. There's my big bad boy screwdriver. So we'll start to make the adjustments. This is a delicate balancing act. I don't care that the whammy bar is on my bench right now. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These screws are really tight. And then we'll see what we're doing with our tuning now. What we're going for is getting this bar to sit just perfectly flat, and then we can adjust our string height with our adjustment screws here. And these adjustment screws, it's kind of important not to be turning those with string tension on it, because you will eat. These have already been turned and these have been damaged, so I will oil these today, but it's best to relieve the string tension on it to raise the string action. Then it's a lot of work, but on a Floyd Rose, once you're done, man, you're done. Once they're set up with a proper set of strings, you just don't have to mess with them. Put a new set of strings on there and they'll always balance out. Never change a brand of string. Never change a gauge of string unless you want to change the setup of your whole Floyd Rose again. And I can tell we're going to have to loosen this some more. Now, when you're making these adjustments, you got to be careful about like leaning on the strings. Any tension you put on those when you're making these adjustments will throw your measurements off. So we've got to loosen the screws in the back to allow this bridge to sit level. 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice I'm counting out loud. 3, 4. I want to move these screws in conjunction with one another because this guitar was set up perfectly, and by moving these screws evenly, it keeps the uniformity of the bridge intact. So we'll tune them back up. And we're getting close, but we still got to loosen them. So I'm gonna go 2 turns. 1, 2. 1, 2. Boy, we're getting really close to having this thing sitting perfectly level. I need to move it one more time. Here's a look at what we're going for is being level with the top of the guitar. We want this to sit perfectly level, and it is tilted back on the back side of that ever so slightly. I'm not sure if the camera is showing that little bit of a dip in that, but this is the stuff that separates the men from the boys, if you ask me. So we're gonna move this about that much. That's it, and we'll retune. This is where the balancing act really becomes you get this accurate, and then everything works properly, and you can set the guitar up properly. And there is no rule that says that this has to be perfectly level. There's nothing that says that that absolutely has to be perfectly level. That's my own perfection. Everything music is theory, right? And still want to go one more little nudge on that. Now we're splitting hairs, but when I move those screws just that tiny little bit, the tuning will be out now. Really looking forward to getting my MIDI controller on Monday. I hope that I get it.
I collect weird old guitars. Well, we have a weird old guitar right there.
And we are perfect. And I'll let you take a look at what I've done here. So this bridge is sitting perfectly flat with the top of the guitar.
Hey Marshall.
Yes, sir.
How much is the Glenn Burke?
We could start that one. I mean, I would love to ask for $1,000 for that guitar, but we'll definitely come down on that. Let's start that one around $750.
Okay.
And we can negotiate.
Alrighty.
Hey, Joey. Okay, so now we're going to start checking our string action.
How's it going?
Hello.
How much is the Gibson?
That one starts at 2. Yep.
What's that? Oh, that's a Martin.
Is this a customer guitar?
I'm not sure the
Yeah.
model on that one.
It's actually the owner's guitar.
Okay. So it's probably not for sale.
No.
That's weird.
I do have a very special guitar, acoustic guitar. If you're in the market, are you looking for a new acoustic or?
Weird old. I collect weird old guitars. So like that amplifier, is that for sale?
That one's not cheap. But yes,
Okay.
everything's for sale for the right
Okay.
price.
Well,
It's a great question.
I got gobs and gobs of old Kalamazoo guitars. This is
Neat.
basically like a EH150 kind of sort of, I imagine.
That one, the closest we can date that amplifier to is about 1943. It's one of the oldest amps I've ever laid eyes on.
What's the asking on it?
We did a recap.
Okay.
Ultimately is all it needed. Everything works. It works great. Sounds like an amp from 1943 should sound. So yeah, that one. Now I almost would like to ask Stu on that one what we should, but you know, got that. I do have. I want to show you a couple of instruments back here.
Okay.
That you might be interested in. I kind of keep these off the floor just because they're mine. I've got this guitar is a Jerry Nolte built guitar. It was built 13 miles from where we're standing. It's 1995 that I got built. It's got a K&K pickup in it. It's survived 2 house fires. And that is a handmade guitar right here in our community. And then also this 67H 770.
They have a volume on their own, I think. Did you plug them into your main speaker, if I remember right?
The only thing that's been modded is the bridge on this.
You need to wait a little bit.
Okay.
It had
Well, I can pay for this.
Alrighty.
I saw a photograph of the guy that owned this guitar that had the plastic rollers, and that's just so I put this on it, and the guitar is just fantastic. The Armand pickups, an original. The electronics are obviously all original.
Yeah.
So
I got a bunch of Rockets and H75s and 4s and 66s. I love harmonies. How much is that guy?
this guy I'd like to get $750.
Okay.
And any of these things, prices are certainly negotiable.
Tell me about the L2, the LGO or LG2. What is it?
It's an LG2. That one is owned by a client, and I'm restoring that.
Okay.
And so
That's exactly the type of thing I would use.
I could. I wish I could. The gentleman that lives in Portland.
Okay. If you don't mind, I mean, that works for me.
You just got the back lead back on it, but let's see, where was it? This entire side of this guitar was caved in.
Yep,
The back came off. All of the braces were re-glued. This thing is totally.
It's an X-Brace?
Yes.
So, okay, it's an
We
actual
restored
kit.
all of that stuff. I mean, it's classic.
Damn.
I know.
Nope, I have a
I've been.
CF100, which is pretty much that guitar, but with a 4-inch cutaway that I found at a garage sale in Salem.
This guy found this guitar in a garage sale. He got it for like $20 in 1982, and it was in that shape from the day he bought it. And my brother had a conversation with him and said, my bro rebuilds guitars, you know. And I had known Julian, the guy that owned this guitar. He was a sound engineer at the Mount Tabor Club in Portland. Anyway, long story short, he brought it over and I'm restoring it. That is a J40, and we're just rebinding it. The old binding. This thing's been this is owned by the owner's son, and obviously it's had some work done to it.
Yeah.
This thing has had shit beat out of it, but we're just doing new bird's eye maple binding around it. I can't
Instead of
find
the-
plastic binding that big. We can make it.
SKUMAC doesn't have?
What's that?
SKUMAC doesn't have anything?
Nothing this size. There's nothing. It needs to be 3 millimeters thick, 7 millimeters tall, and everything they have is too. I'd have to try and
You'd be
rebind
gluing
it.
them together. You could do a black by black if you just kept turn them together kind of thing.
Yeah, my brother does woodwork, and they're not concerned about this thing being original.
No,
It's
there's no.
totally modified at this point.
It's a poor old Kalamazoo body turned into a lamp.
One of the other gentlemen that works here, he's been out for quite some time. One of his students gave that to him.
Yeah, like,
And that Nolte
for a
does
computer
come
or
with a case,
floor monitor?
and
Floor
I do
monitor.
have the
Yeah.
original case.
Lay back at you so you can hear yourself?
yeah.
Yeah.
We do I think I've got them upstairs. I don't know.
Okay. I'm just curious about what you got and the price.
I don't know why I'm here looking for more, especially more broken ones that it'll be forever until I get around to fixing. But
Well, that's what I do. I can fix a few of them for you if you need it.
or
you want it.
I have a repair shop at home. I got my scope and caps and all the shit.
Yep.
Wild guess as to the Kalamazoo.
What's that?
Wild guess as to the price on the Kalamazoo. Somewhere between 1 and 2, probably.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a
Alright.
good ballpark on that one. It's
So
just so
you're in there.
old. You ain't gonna
Yep.
see them like that
Nope.
anymore. That's definitely the oldest piece of gear I think I have in the shop. We're all kind of in love with it, but we'll definitely sell it.
Well, yeah, it's a business.
Yeah,
You gotta have money at the end of the day.
yeah, indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get back in my damn. You don't have any ukuleles around that are old, do you?
Nothing old.
I'm hell on those old
no, my old one.
Kamakas and
No, and it's not a uke. I've got an old mandolin, the old Beetleback.
yeah, I got,
Nothing old. Everything we've got in ukuleles is going to be pretty much brand new.
I got a box of those fucking Beetlebacks if you know somebody that wants them.
Right.
You know Jody who's in this? Jody, she's mostly plays fiddle. She's kind of a blonde-haired girl, big girl. She's been a professional musician forever. Her and Alan Domshot or something. She drives a Volkswagen bus. They're friends of mine from Volkswagen campouts.
Okay.
She lives like 3 blocks from here. If she finds out I'm in town and I haven't come to see her, she's gonna kick my ass.
Oh, you better make a phone call, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a phone you can borrow if you need it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble, man.
I'm gonna snake out of here with my tail between the legs and get down to Pendleton quick before I get found out.
Are you playing
No.
anywhere? No.
I'm just a guitar collector.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Undisclosed. Very cool. I'm let's see, there's about 10 people watching a live stream right now. Would you care to share your contact info with people? Let's see, there's a dude from Scotland.
No.
A dude from Canada. No, okay.
Undisclosed. Just
Shush.
it's a top secret.
I will never share your info, man. Here's
Okay,
my
wow, what's that?
here's my
Is that
card.
like a champ? What is that little thing?
What's that? Yeah. That actually was built by I call him my journeyman.
Okay.
That was it's basically a deluxe
Okay.
circuit that he used that chassis to put that in that. That one, I don't know if that one's actually for sale or not. That would be something Mike would have to. But dude, that thing. Stu, the gentleman that built that guitar or that amp, we have 3 of his builds here, and he could just from memory build you a deluxe reverb amplifier.
26V6
Mm-hmm.
power tubes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That thing is stupid loud, and it's just clean as a whistle. You crank it up, and it'll get that edge of breakup sound. You know. Let me. Here's my info if you need it.
Excellent. All right, I'm gonna keep my deal to my sweetie and get on down the road.
If you're interested in that Burke, man, that one, you talk about weird guitars, and that's a
weird
piece of
guitar.
that's a piece of Oregon history right there. He beat Kramer to building the aluminum bodied guitars.
Yeah.
And Kramer came in and to the company that was building those bodies for him and basically stole the foundry from Mr. Burke.
Well,
He didn't have the capital to.
Wayne didn't get anywhere with the aluminum guitars anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but very cool old guitar. Did you want to make an offer on that one?
No, I'm gonna get on down the road. I know where it is, and I'll be coming back there.
Okay,
Well, I
well, you
may
never
see
know
you.
what we might have, man.
We may see you next Saturday.
Okay, sounds
Thank
good.
you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping in, man. Oh, hi, Emma. I know I haven't been paying attention. Hello, Hugh, Kevin. What's up? Oh, here's Napa. Go say hi to Justin for me. You're kind of a ways from there, though. Mitch, hello. Zach, hello. Oh, it's great to see everybody. Forgive me. I've been helping gentlemen. That's why I can't. Oh, wow. D standard, ultra low. Okay, yeah. Yeah, dude, I love, okay. Some great conversations going on. That's really cool. We've got the strings on it, and I think it's time that I plug this thing in and see what it actually can do. I want to make sure my stuff's plugged in here. I think it is. So let's see what this bad boy sounds like and what the string action's like. I really haven't done any type of setup work on it, but before I do that, I'm going to stretch the strings. So let's just go through this process. I can tell you that the string action on this thing is really, really low at this point. We gotta go through this. Yes.
Can you help me for just a sec?
Yes.
This gentleman is looking for a monitor, and I went and got a monitor we have upstairs, but I think he actually might need like a powered 110 or something like that. They're a main and a monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Marshall is an expert on these.
What
so-
are we? What's your system?
It's, I should know that. It's one I bought years ago, and it's got 8 channels, 2 speakers, and we just.
So it's a powered mixer.
Yeah, it's basically. It's got low, medium, high.
Okay.
We've got 8 channels.
Okay.
And it may have an out. And if it does, I can check it, and then we could use one of those. But before we had some guy brought some speakers, and they had little volumes on them, so you could, just go out of your speakers right into them, and then if it was not loud enough, you just tweak them.
Yeah, with powered monitors, like a dark glass, these dark matter speakers, and the PDX-P10s, these guys right here. This is not a PDX-P10, but the exact speaker. They're powered, so you cannot send a signal from one of your main speakers down to one of those, because you're sending at that point amplified volume.
Right.
That's a big no-no.
Right.
So what I would recommend is you need to know what mixer you have, and does it have a monitor, an unpowered monitor out.
Right.
That's gonna help me help you decide on what you need. And with these, if your board does have a monitor volume on each channel, something loose on your belt.
Then you just tweak it there.
Then you can put your vocals and turn up your vocals in that speaker. And you can daisy chain these together. So, you've got 2 people performing with each of you can have a monitor. The monitor mix, depending on the board that you have, will likely be the same for both people.
Yeah.
But it depends on how your board's set up.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I got most boards that have a monitor out, and I don't know, again.
Doesn't have a volume.
They're not amplified. It's just a line level. So you gotta have either a powered speaker or go from that monitor out to a power amp.
Yeah.
And we do have stereo power amps that'll run monitors just like that.
So even if you use one of these guys, you're still not going from your speaker to this guy.
No,
You gotta come out and record. Yeah.
You could destroy one of these in a quick minute by doing that, sending an amplified signal.
Gotcha.
And it usually will sound. Yeah, and we're looking at like maybe what you can do version, unpowered, there's no amplifier. But run your mics in here, you've got built-in compression for certain channels. But out of this board, you run out here to 2 powered speakers.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And it eliminates having to pack an amplifier with you.
Yeah.
And then on the bigger boards, they actually have a monitor for it, so there'll be a separate knob on here so that you can dial in your monitor.
How's it going, Joseph? We probably should have that monitor down here somewhere anyway.
Yeah, I'll have to, I might look at the, I can look at it.
Case.
you chain them together, you'll have monitors.
Okay.
So the cows come home.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, yeah, well,
Okay.
I appreciate that.
And don't hesitate to call me.
Okay.
If you get to the point where you know what you got, call me.
Okay.
Let me know.
And what's your name?
I'm Marshall.
Marshall.
And
Okay.
you are
Tim.
Tim?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice
okay.
to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Okay, thank you.
All right, Tim. Thank you, brother.
Are you Marshall?
That'd be me.
My A peg is loose and I can't tune this.
Oh, okay. You've got a tuning peg that won't hold
Yes.
for you?
I guess that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a beginner,
Okay.
and it just has, yeah.
Good for you. Boy, hang on, let me see if I can.
Well, you want to talk to probably Marshall again.
Oh, okay.
I have some special stuff here
All right.
that I should
It
be
just
able-
has one here and the middle
in
one.
the middle one, some slides.
Yeah, and then lift up on the lid. There you go.
It's probably just too early for you guys.
Yeah, it was my dad's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure
I'm just kind of give it a good look over and
who do
look
there.
for
I
any.
don't see it.
Yeah, I loaned it to my niece's son, and then I decided I wanted to play again and got it back, and
That thing is just not.
yeah, it's just flopping.
So.
Thanks, Marshall. It's appreciated. You working so much.
Oh.
So I figured I could buy lunch.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
What does
Well,
he
7
want?
days a week.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
7
give
days.
him a quarter every once in a while.
Buy him a soda pop.
It's appreciated.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I love that guy. He takes
Yeah,
such good care of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do
Mhm.
is use some of this
Magic.
magic goo.
Mhm.
See, in fact, I'm probably gonna have to.
Undo it.
I'm gonna undo this
Yeah.
string. I'm gonna see this.
What kind of car do you guys have?
06 Dodge Ram.
Alrighty. And
While we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust your fine tuners a little
What?
bit.
Yeah, why don't you just look it over? Because I
yes, they do.
he had it
The
for a
call-
couple of years,
Serious.
and
Activate.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
Do you want me to leave it?
That actually, I mean, the thing, honestly, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. If you've got maybe 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I can probably get this thing
Well, yeah,
working for you.
Yeah. Don't hurry or anything.
Okay.
Double down.
So
Yeah,
Your-
I can't.
this stuff
have it
is
down
something that most
Yeah.
violinists
So we can
don't
put
keep in their
anything-
It's not
case.
serious. Yeah, the fact
but
was
it's a
that
little bit of
obviously
sticky
way
goo.
outdated, so-
Yeah.
It's made with, I believe,
So
I'm not
what-
sure,
okay, what do
pitch
the plates look like?
and
Oh,
some
it's like
wax.
it's not like rosin, but
So we would have
No.
those in the back.
And you could use rosin on this to
And
help get it to stay
It
put.
depends on the.
okay, because I
car.
have some of that.
No, 6
Yeah.
Ram.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
Um,
you have to look
just
it up
get a
and look
little
it
bit
down.
of this
Yeah.
on here.
Okay.
And then
And to
and-
confirm which size it is.
yeah.
long as we can
again,
get
I
it
don't
to
have
stay
access to the
put,
shop right now, so I won't be able to.
Then all
Give
your
it to
adjustment can be
you.
made with the fine
What
What do you
tuner.
mean?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So all of our
We'll
car
just
stereo
put that
stuff that
back in
isn't
there.
here is in the shop
And,
because we install it as well.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
out in the shop, and we don't have access to the shop.
this is the part, taking strings off.
Um,
Getting the string back
It's the
on there
same
can be
business,
tricky
but our
sometimes.
car install guys are
Okay.
here on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of them
I've never
just
had to
surgery,
change a
so he's not
springs,
here.
the
and
strings,
the other
so
one
I
doesn't work on weekends.
So these will
Okay.
turn
I see that's it.
backwards to what
Receiver, so like you can put a
I
backup
have to
camera to it.
reverse my brain when I work on a violin because these turn the opposite direction of a guitar.
The camera, the
Be
different
careful.
kits for installing that, like in the tailgate, or what? Or is it on the?
So
Can you tell me?
I'm unsure of where we install the cameras.
Okay.
Would you know that, Marshall?
There are many locations. Oftentimes a license plate.
Yeah.
It depends on the vehicle and
On the
what.
pickup.
It's a pickup, and you're going to be hooking up a trailer.
Yeah, so it's better to be up on the tailgate by
Yep.
the lever.
And they have cameras that mount.
Adapters maybe that fit different ones. Or,
Yep, they have cameras that will mount like on the top of a tailgate.
yeah.
They and some. I think they have some replacements that will like if you have a lift handle in the
Yeah.
tailgate, they make like literally replace the handle, but your camera's sitting right there in the handle.
Okay.
In other cases, they will drill a hole if
Yeah.
that's acceptable.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the installer will speak with you about that,
Right.
about what you'd like to do.
Okay.
So and that's so there are typically a lot of options on cameras.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I just pushed the string through far enough that I've got a little bit sticking out,
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then I'm gonna go ahead and cinch
Kind
that
of
up.
like a
so it's better to come back
You're
here.
filming an old camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really
Um,
truly is. It's a lot like that. It's
Monday
funny
through
you would say
Friday.
that because I thought that many times stringing up.
because I didn't know how the string stayed on there, but
That's all it is. It's just tension, friction.
Oh, we wouldn't be able to do it
Ultimately
the same
holds
day.
it.
We're booked a couple weeks in advance, usually.
Okay, so this one,
So
so I'm going to keep some tension on it
if
down
you
here.
want
and
us to install it,
Oop.
you would
This is where
have to come in during the week and then set up an appointment
I'm
and
going
then
to go
buy
ahead
the
and
stuff.
wrap it kind of loose.
Pay. We to get you on the calendar, we usually go half down.
Now I've got some tension on it.
Looks like Kenwood is your primary line.
Yeah, we have a lot of Kenwood
Tell
stuff.
that
It's
I
real
don't.
nice stuff.
Come on. The strings seem to be in pretty good shape for you also. These
I
don't look like
think
they're terrible
they
more.
put some new stuff on it. Yeah. When
That
they-
Alpine is a
got
real
it.
nice.
So
Is a really
I'm
nice.
pushing
deck.
in on the machine head, or the tuning peg.
Mhm.
It has,
Oh,
I think, everything you could ever want on it.
that sounds better.
It has
Oh.
Apple CarPlay,
And
Android
Can
Auto,
let me
actually.
grab a tuner real quick.
Sirius XM,
Okay.
Bluetooth.
DVD as far as playing
I got one of them too. But they
Where
didn't
we're
bring my
tuned.
bag of stuff back.
So
Yeah, I've got one of those, but they've got to bring my bag of goodies back that I sent out with them.
How about like the Kenwood?
That's pretty close.
I told you what I'm primarily, I
Needs
don't really
to
care
be-
other than AM, FM. Bluetooth would be nice, and then, and I see looked at that one has it.
Bluetooth is pretty much on every single one of our decks.
That one
Okay.
loosened up again. We
it's
may
a
have
very-
to.
Something that a lot of people want, so they don't really sell the ones that.
Without,
Yeah.
so then.
See, it's
between the two different Kenwoods there,
EADG,
what's the
right?
difference between
GD
Epsilon and
AE.
whatever the other one is?
These two?
GDAE.
Because I'm looking at the big double, and I need that
Oh.
larger unit, so either that one or this one, I'm gonna guess. What's
So
the
this one has a
difference?
touch screen.
Oh, okay. That's touchscreen, and this
That one is just the buttons.
Not quite sure what just happened there.
Okay,
It
that's-
sounded
that's probably
bad,
the higher
didn't
it?
one.
Well,
Let's
May have a.
Oh.
You just broke this.
see.
So that was gonna
Come
be
loose, yeah. Okay,
about
so we'll put a
850.
new string on here.
I think I might have
The
something
ball.
in there.
Yeah.
And that one there.
That's the A string,
The
wasn't it?
touch
Yeah.
Okay. And this
And
has a
that's installed or
different.
just-
That's not installed.
I'm not gonna have any loop
That's
end
just the deck.
Okay.
So
violin
figure
strings in
probably
stock.
Let's see what I got in my case.
Yeah, maybe we have a. Sorry,
Those things right there. Yeah.
violin A. Let's see, super sensitive stainless.
So,
Come on, be there. That is.
how do you do the ones that don't have a loop in them?
Well, they have ball ends on them on these ones, and they got that little slot through the
this is
Right.
through
gonna
there,
be,
so the ball end holds it.
about
So these are
230,
like have a dual
not installed,
purpose.
just by itself.
I'm guessing
230.
Yes.
it's possible
What's
that
the
this
difference
thing
between
has
the
been
two?
changed
I thought
out
that
at
would
some
be
point
more
during. In fact,
expensive.
it's
So
different than these
$600
other
more, but
two.
what's-
So
Oh no.
Why
I'm talking
can't we
about
put a
this one?
one like them on?
And then
well,
this one.
I
don't
have
know
that
what
part
one
is the
Oh,
problem.
okay,
I don't.
That one's 8.
I don't
Yes.
have these parts
No.
in stock. I can look, but I doubt that I have one of those. And the ball end, I mean, the loop ends are fine.
I don't care about that.
This is. Let me. That's definitely the wrong string gauge. Hey Joey, let me scoot beside you. I got to get in this violin case. Okay.
Yeah, that some of that stuff's all.
And then
I
that
just
one
I
didn't
don't. So they've got guitar.
Wait, maybe not.
Guitar E.
These old guitar string. I got like a bunch of people online that are like guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
These are like black diamond strings.
They're like gold.
That's history
like diamond.
right there.
Well, it could have come with this. I just don't even remember.
So, unfortunately, we're missing that.
Dinky.
Where is this from? Repairs.
Oh,
Date 1/21/2011.
that was me when I
Okay.
first started.
DG. Come on. Wow. Please be. Please be. That looks like the right size, and it has a ball end on it. Or I'm sorry, it has a. It looks like it's possibly been broken,
Yeah,
but
150.
let's see.
If
Let's
there's
see if we can make this one work.
Okay. Should we put more goop on it?
I will. Yeah, and the other thing I'm going to do is use a little bit of sandpaper on this. So I'm going to. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this string has
I would
seen
probably
its last.
figure. So 2006.
It's
Bit of
garbage,
life.
right?
Unfortunately, that is irreparable.
Okay.
I can't fix that. I'm gonna round file this
This
one
one's probably gonna be.
if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Installation.
I gotta be careful. It's like
Yeah.
there's
No,
a
my
lot of sentiment
It's gonna
in
be
good
probably-
instruments.
I'm looking for a ballpark.
Ballpark
See what it
1 to
says.
200, I think. It may be more, but I don't think so.
It's got satellite already, so the cabling obviously and
Yeah.
everything's there, the antenna's there and all
Yeah.
that. Okay. And these all have Bluetooth and Sirius in them.
Yes. And look at this
I'm
one.
gonna rough this up a little bit. All I'm doing is using some real heavy grit sandpaper. This is 100 grit.
This one does not have Sirius.
And we want to rough this wood up just a little bit so there's a little bit something there to bite.
Uh-huh.
And
Let me look at that Sony.
so now we got a
What are
nice.
these?
It has the
Those are
touchscreen on this.
tuning pegs
Sirius.
for guitars.
Ew.
And rear camera.
So we got
See,
that.
and you know, I never learned the fine tuner part.
What's that?
I never learned that.
That's purists hate these things. Yeah, it's like they look at it as a wimpy way to tune an instrument.
Okay.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
But I am also not a violin player, so
This one's gonna
I
be
suppose if I was, I might be a little bit more stingy about those.
$3.98.
But like, they're there to fine tune the instrument, so you just get it close with the tuning peg.
Mm-hmm.
Then you tune it, you fine tune it with this.
And that almost, because of what's
much did
happening
we
there,
say for
that
this?
might be better for mine.
Marshall,
What's that?
how much did we say for this?
60 on that one for that
Alrighty.
shim. So, and it may be that we're just going to try, before we do anything extreme on this, we're just going to try this old peg. This thing might be worn to the point that, but the last thing I do is want to take anything off of an instrument. It's
Right.
like rule number one for me.
Well, I mean, you had trouble throwing that old string away.
What's that?
You had
Oh,
trouble throwing that string away.
There are people that like, I want those old strings. Okay,
Like, what do they do with them?
just frame them. Granddad played this or whatever.
okay.
It's shocking the sentiment that some folks have for stuff like that. I mean, I showed you these black diamond
Yeah.
wrappers. Those are just empty packages. So I've got a few of these old ones that are just highly collectible. Like piece of that's all you could buy.
No, yeah, it does too.
That was
but
the
it's
only
not
string
touch
there.
screen. I actually do kind of like
I don't even remember where Dad got stuff for his.
Yeah. Well, there was a music store in Baker City, and so if
Yeah, Maryland's. That's
Yeah.
where I went
okay,
when I first
that
started.
be, and Legrand Stereo has been, we've been in business for 47 or 48 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he may have, I'm certain he's probably come in and picked up something here at some point, maybe a set of violin strings.
Yeah.
Come on. It's a whole
Yeah, Marilyn, the friend. She
Marilyn.
plays, Schoenberg. She plays
Okay.
with Lonnie Shirtliff.
Oh yeah, Lonnie.
Yeah, she.
God, I haven't seen him for a long
plays the
time.
keyboard and sings, and he plays. They're called Barefoot and Bonafide or something.
Not familiar
You
with
can
them.
find them on Facebook, because they do some Friday night jams, especially during the pandemic thing,
Yeah.
online. And
I think I was friends with Lonnie on there for a while, and he got real religious, and I don't allow that on my news feed, but that's my.
I've noticed that lately about him, posting more things like that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But nice guy, and he's very knowledgeable about repairing instruments and things like that. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I don't even know much about the store that Marilyn had in Baker. She sold, and I don't know even how much it's open there in Baker. So I just called down here to see if you repair them.
Well, Maryland's was a Gibson dealership, and it's known that they sold some '59 Gibson Les Pauls because they were selling them. They were a dealership for Gibson during that time. That's the holy grail of all guitars ever. And I know that there's a '58 Les Paul Jr. in Baker City that was bought at that music store in 1959. And I have yet to ever see that instrument, but let's see if I can get that to bite. Delicate. Oh, that's probably what popped. This might have been
Oh, because it's
might have
loose.
been relaxed
Is
a
that
little.
normal for? Is it just because there's no tension on it? Is why it's loose like
Yes,
that?
at this point, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we want to get that. There we go. That looks good. Okay, now.
Yeah, I've been kind of hanging with some friends that get together and play, and one of the gals has a bass guitar she was letting me play. That was fun. I think I could do it probably better than this cantankerous fiddle, but I'm gonna try.
Being really gentle. Okay. These are not holding. Okay. So this is going to take a bit more time than I expected.
Okay.
So let me get some info from you. You can leave it with me for a little bit. It's probably going to be Tuesday, Wednesday of next week before I can have it done.
Okay.
I'm very backed up.
Right.
But I'll do my best. I thought if I could just get that going for you today, we'd call it a day. But and I'd also like to look in, you had mentioned these fine tuners, I'd also like to look into maybe, this has obviously been modified from the original, so I almost feel like it might be wise for me to look into maybe getting some different tuners so that we can use ball end strings on these, on all four of them, and get all that stuff unified so they're all the same.
Okay.
Let me ask you, sometimes they go quick and it's starting to add up at this point. I'm like, oh shoot, okay, we're not gonna, let me have you write your contact info on there, and I'm gonna put this stuff back in the case. Well, that was cool that he had an extra. And when we do this, if we decide to go with put new fine tuners on there, we will do a whole new set of strings on it for you.
Okay.
As I can tell, this is going to take a bit more doing than...
Yeah, it's kind of loose or something still, huh?
Yeah, we're going to have to treat all of these machine heads or tuning pegs to get them to hold tune proper. This is a beautiful old violin.
Yeah, Dad had, Marilyn's dad built him a new one.
Oh,
I think my sister has it. I looked it up. I forget what year it is.
Well,
German.
this thing has 1911 on the tag, but I don't know if that's the actual year. There might be some other markings on the inside of this that from when it was built. It's not like it's a Stradivarius or anything like that, but it's a well-built instrument. It's got a really beautiful top on it, maple back, maple sides. So this is classic spruce top, maple back and sides.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's ultimately a lot like most guitars, or a lot of guitars, spruce top and maple back and sides. So it should have a nice bright tone when we get it all playing and tuned up. So I'm going to put this back in the case. It doesn't appear like it doesn't look like it needs any real major, everything looks pretty good. There's no big cracks or anything on it.
In your tuner, yeah.
So I think that when I can get some time to look into getting those fine tuners, I think that, wow, that's so strange. Wow, I've never seen a lights like that in my life.
Oh, it's weird.
Wow.
I've seen one like that.
Yeah. And the case is interesting. It's just so. Excuse me. Make sure. Okay.
Bonita.
Let's see. Bonita. Okay. And let's see. New fine tuners. And new strings. I just feel like if we do it, we might as well put new strings on it for you and start fresh.
Because I'm over in North Powder, I don't come over that often in the winter. We had a dandy storm, yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bit of snow.
We got like 8 inches there.
Did you?
Yeah.
We didn't even touch that this year, but damn, it was cold. Man. And 6 tuning pegs.
And new strings, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Make them tight. Sometimes sanding on those tuning pegs can be a good thing or a bad thing. I do have replacement tuning pegs. If we run into that, I'll call you and let you know. You'll get the old ones back with the violin. I don't take a part off of you. You'll get anything that I have to change out, you'll have in your possession.
Okay.
That stuff can be pretty special if your dad or whatever put it on that instrument. We want to keep all that stuff intact. So, I'm gonna, so give me some time, and I'll call you with any information that I have here as soon as I can. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Now, you work 7 days a week, right?
I do right now. I'm ready for a day off. I'll tell you what. We've got one guy that's down, and so I've had to work to make sure my journeyman has he had some health issues, and he's home healing right now. But I am definitely ready for a day off. Yeah.
The sun's shining up the Powder today. Looks like another storm's rolling in here, though.
Yeah.
It's nice to get the sun.
How was the freeway coming over?
Bare.
Bare?
Dry.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, because I don't come this way if it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll get on that as quickly as I can.
All right. No problem.
Okay.
I'm just glad it can be fixed.
Yeah, it won't be an issue. It's just a matter of finding the right fine tuners and stuff. And I'd like to set that up for you so that it's basically like a start with some new stuff. And there are other options for those fine tuners and things like that. I want to look into that stuff.
Okay.
And see what the best way to handle keeping it original, but making it.
Right.
You know, if you're just learning to play, we want to make that thing.
I'm starting over, yeah.
Okay.
And I knew I couldn't tune it, and you can't even play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with without an A string.
Yeah. Well, I'll get her done as quickly as I can for you to get you playing.
Okay, no problem. I have other options. I'm a budding bass player now.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
See
I'll
you,
call
Marshall.
you as soon as he's ready. Yeah. Okay. Take care. We were stretching strings, I think. Good grief, you guys. Oh. Okay. We tried fixing a violin. We got to do some more work on that thing. Well, we're back to stretching strings on the old Jackson. I'm sorry if that was a real boring stretch of entertainment. What are we eating? Let's see. Yeah, I've got those. Yeah, dude. Oscar, you know that. I would love to put those on more violins, because in the modern world it seems to make sense that you would use a modern piece of equipment, which I've had very few people allow me to put those tensioning tuners on violins. Sometimes due to the people being purists, if you will. Not that that's a bad thing. But I think that there's better ways to solve problems by going with a more modern Alright, we're gonna play this thing, see how it feels, see if we have any fret buzz, see if what kind of setup we need to do on this thing now. The string action is way lower than where it was to start with. I can already see that. This guitar is feeling pretty nice right out of the gate. Now I realize that's probably loud. I can't talk that loud. I have to hear my guitar, so if it's too loud, sorry. You guys have a volume knob. Yeah. It's kind of interesting that what I've just done with this guitar, having done that, changed the gauge of strings. I didn't adjust the string height at all. Didn't turn the truss rod. Just balanced out the Floyd Rose, and this thing is really set up nicely. So at this point, I'm faced with doing an intonation. All right. D standard drops, yeah. Take care, Zach, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Yeah, missing a string on any stringed instrument is tough. Sounds like she's just getting started back up playing again. So I want to get that thing done for her to keep her happy and playing her instrument. Is that Martin's all finished up?
Yeah, Mike took it.
Happy? Okay. Cool. So let's have you. Let me. Here we go. All right. This clunker, kind of. It's kind of a clunker, but it'll shape up. So this is the one that I glued all the frets down on. You've got to scrape all the excess CA glue off there with a razor blade. I'd use that curved one. I'll give it to you. And just try and get all this guck away from the frets. And there's some of the frets have CA glue on them, so try and get all that shit off of there. Then we're gonna put strings on it and see what it'll do.
Okay.
Because it was fretting out, like you'd fret a note here at the 4th fret, and it was catching, literally, you'd hear this note. So just get the glue off of it first.
Okay.
And I would, if you need, let's see, where'd my, there it is. I think I've got a bunch more of these round blades. Yeah, right here. I've got a whole box of these round blades here. Just be fucking careful. That might be the best way. If you feel like a straight blade would do better, don't worry too much about scraping up the fingerboard, because we'll go over it with a razor blade after the fact. Make sense? All right. All right. What's up, Gary? Hello, man. How are you doing? It's great to see you. Preston, hello. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be looking into that. I may have some fine tuners here that'll fit on that. Or I may have a full new tailpiece with all of that in it. I don't know what I've got in stock right now. I'll definitely look into that. Let me take a look here. I've got to look at my timing. Okay. Give me just a couple of minutes. I need to have a snack real quick. I'm gonna put on some pictures of pretty ladies. I think we're all dudes here, so I don't think the women are gonna be too upset. I'll be right back. So enough of that. I'm gonna take a look at the chat and see if anybody had any points. I'm gonna eat and take a little bit of insulin while I'm at it. Let's see. Black Diamond, yeah. Oh, dude. Oscar, that's a great question. They are expensive. We had a set here that we had marked at like $159 or something. I have to take insulin to eat, and I had I guess my apprentice brought me in a hamburger this morning, and I'm gonna have me a little snack. So I'm estimating the carbs in that probably add up to about 30 to 40 grams. So I'm going to take me 3.5 units of Humalog insulin. And it's time for me to eat something. I'll have a little snack. So yeah, it's amazing how expensive violin and even some bass strings have gotten. We carry a set of bass strings here that are $15, and they're fantastic strings. Yeah, God. Gary, I know what you mean. I tried playing violin in the first grade with that poor violin teacher. Of course, back then we weren't all on the internet watching virtuosos play, so we had to learn quickly. They take longer to make, yeah, and they're flat wound strings, so definitely a set of flat wound guitar strings is going to be a whole lot more money than round wound. Drinking me some Diet Pepsi. You do, I'll bet you do, man. I didn't have a set of 5 strings, or I would have sent you those, man. I just didn't have a set in stock. I don't think I sent you a set of 5 strings. Yeah, and they were, I don't know, in the onset of violin strings, were they gut strings? They were.
Everything was.
Everything was. That had to have been. They weren't manufacturing metal to that degree of precision. I was hungry. N719 strings are the only round wound violin. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't eat at McDonald's ever, but this was a gift, so I'm going to enjoy it. I get to cheat once in a while. A very special gift. Yeah, we primarily stock labella strings. We sell individual strings. We keep individual strings in stock, but I believe that they're all ball end strings, which I'm not a big fan of how the strings on that one mounted. And they had been the fine tuners had been altered and swapped out. So
Hey Marshall.
yes, sir.
I'm gonna run a Chevron. Do you want anything?
I'll drink another Diet Pepsi at some point.
Alrighty.
Yeah, do it.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. We have a little lull in the action, so my apprentice is going to run down to the market and get himself a Dr. Pooper. It's chilly out there. We are having some really shit weather. It's terrible. Cold and wet outside right now. It was snowing last night till late. Yeah. Chevron. I never eat this shit. This stuff is really bad for you, from what I understand, but it's got some carb. Yeah, and if and when the world ends, I do know how to remove a pancreas from a pig or a cow, and how to refine those organs into needing insulin if I need to preserve my life. And I will eat a whole pig. I am not a vegetarian. However, the world might be a better place if more pigs and cows were alive and people like me weren't around. I don't know. Just let it go. Let the pigs and the cows live their peaceful lives. And Sir Frederick Banting saved my life. Gelatin made from bone. Yeah. Hot dogs. I think this beef in this is like equivalent to a hot dog meat. Yeah. And I've always said that I'm definitely not a string snob when it comes to brands of strings. I'm trying not to talk with my mouth full. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, I can feel my stomach just like ready to hack right now. I'm not a snob when it comes to string brands. But I don't use flat wound strings on any of my instruments. I do have a couple that would probably sound good with like flat wound strings on them, but they make like the middle ground strings. They're like in between a flat wound and a round wound string, and I've actually put a set of those on a gentleman's guitar just the other day. It's the kind of strings that he really enjoys, and I thought they sounded really fantastic. They were kind of fun to play, had a real kind of a soft sound. It was an electric guitar, so I thought that was kind of cool. It was I gotta say, it was probably the first set of those I had used on an instrument, and I can't say that for 100% certain. I've worked on so many thousands of guitars, but and I got glasses. I got myself a string because I was losing my glasses here at work. So when I'm working on a guitar, I can pull my glasses way up here and they stay out of the way of banging into the guitar, but yet I can still put them on if I need them. Generally, I don't have my glasses on when I'm working on guitars because I see up close very clearly. Oh, Gary, good. Ground wounds, yeah. Oh, good Lord. Oh, boy. All right. Wow. Gary, bless you, man. I remember with my child was young, doing softball. There were some Saturdays or Sundays when they were doing softball when it was 7 o'clock in the morning at the park. So be sure to get some good rest tonight. That's so cool that your kid's playing hockey. Gary, I'm curious. I mean, I'm a huge hockey fan. Growing up in the northwestern United States, we're right below you there, and I know that in Canada, hockey is one of the favorite sports. if not the favorite sport. What the fuck else are you gonna do in the ice, right? What I wonder what. Oh, dude, that's the question I was gonna ask. Oh, the goalkeeper. I love it. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That is great news. Wow. Yeah, I wish daylight savings time would go the way of the dodo bird, but it's such a stupid thing, if you ask me. I have no use for it. I don't even think farmers anymore need it, but we're sticking to traditions. Okay, so let's move on to intonating this guitar. I think without having done, oops, I'm sorry, you probably can't hear me. Without having done much on this instrument, the setup is really, really nice. Let me check. We're good on guitar. I'm going to use the neck pickup, and we're going to start checking the intonation on this thing. Let's see where she's at. Get myself situated here. Get comfortable. Let's see where she is. Get the camera here. Hopefully you can see both the tuner and the instrument. So we're very flat. I'm going to be a little more aggressive with my picking hand to get the string as if I'm playing the guitar, right? That's how you tune a guitar. You tune it like you're playing it, not like a little girl, right? Not that girls are weak, but it's just it's what we used to say in the 80s and nobody got mad. There's nothing negative about women. They're a powerful force in our world. And without them, I wouldn't be here. So we're definitely flat on that one. And we need to sharpen the D string. So this is a process on a Floyd Rose that's probably one of them. They make tools to do all of this stuff with, which I don't own any of them. So I'm going to pull the string tension off of this, get the string out of the way, and I need to get myself me Allen keys, and I think this is a what is it, a 2 mil? Yes, indeed it is. So we're going to see if I loosen this, and I was able to move that saddle forward a little bit. That's as far forward as I can get it on each one of these saddles. Has 2 screw holes, so I could move this screw forward and be able to scoot the saddle further forward. But I'm gonna set it right there. That's as far forward as I can get it, and let's see if that improved our intonation for that note, for that string, I should say. Let's see where we're at. That wasn't a real far move, to be honest, but I'll get you over here. My camera guy's doing his best. Dead on. That's amazing. And again, I prefer to lean a little bit towards the flat side, especially with strings that are going to be this loose. And I'm comfortable with that right there on that D. And again, be very careful if you're doing this not to be touching the Floyd or the strings, because it will cause your tuning to be wrong. We want to be as accurate as we can on this stuff. This is where the good guitars get separated from the shitty ones. We're leaning a little bit toward the flat. So we need to sharpen that or the G string a little bit. And that one, I don't think I have any room left on this saddle to move it, so we may have to relocate. In fact, I'm going to relocate the adjustment screw on that. So we'll take all the tension off of it, and we will, I want to see if I can get any movement at all. I don't think I can. No. So I'm going to relocate the set screw for this adjustment, the intonation adjustment. I haven't adjusted the string height at all. This guitar did not need it. It was set up pretty sweet right out of the box. So we'll cinch this, and you notice I moved the set screw forward, so now I have a little bit more room to move this saddle forward. And I want to be real careful to try not to touch the strings with my hex key, which I just did. But I've moved this forward ever so slightly, and we'll check our intonation one more time. And again, most of this stuff is not an Arnold Schwarzenegger moment. Again, you know, you just get them snug. So let's check where we're at. Dead on. We're going to call that good. Thank you. The C string, we're going to call that good. We'll check it. G string's a bit flat. So overall, the intonation of this guitar, going from 10s to 9s, the intonation has become a little bit flat. Boy, I'm tempted to call that good. That's so close. I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to leave that one also. This is pretty darn close. All right. So what I want to do now is check by ear how some chords sound through this monster. Turn our amp back on. This might get a little loud. If it's loud, just turn your headphones down a little bit or whatever. We're going to sharpen the G string. Does that sound a little flat to y'all? We're going to bring this one forward, and we're going to have to move the set screw on this one again. So we'll do that. Is that glue coming off of there?
Yeah. Bit by bit.
Yeah, that'll take a while. It's unfortunate, but that's the only way I can get those things to stay down. We got to make a mess. Make them ugly before we make them pretty, right? Let me get my camera guy. It's amazing, the pickups are pulling the magnets in these pickups are pulling the screw off of my off of my X key. Okay. We'll check our intonation one more time on that G. I'm probably going to have to move it a little bit more, but we'll see. See how close we are. Camera guys. We'll call that good. And so to me that D chord sounded a little bit out of tune when I played it up the fingerboard. pretty good about this setup. And the string change, and the whammy bar, and the cleanup. So let's go ahead and put these locking nuts back on here. Unfortunately, these Jackson don't have the string tree behind the locking nut, which I'm not a big fan of that. I like having that string tree back here. It seems like for tuning stability on Floyd Rose guitars, that seems to be an important part of the puzzle, piece of the pie, whatever you want to call it. And don't strip these out, please. This is the most damaged part of any guitar ever made, is these set screws for your locking nuts. Just get them snug and stop. Right there, that's it. That ain't an Arnold Schwarzenegger moment. I say that a lot, but a lot of damage happens to instruments because people over tighten stuff. I lost the decal off the back of my strobe tuner. How about that? It's getting old enough where the decals are falling off. That is pretty cool. Now, I've adjusted the fine tuners on this guitar, so we'll see how this thing sounds right now. ditto looper fails to record. That's really awesome of them to build that failure in. Let's try that again. And my ditto looper has failed. Here it is. You can look at it. I'm recording. We'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. Here we go. Here we go. Watch. Watch me. Now it decides to record. I do one bad take and it records that. Woo. So now it's gonna go ahead and record. What? Failure, failure, failure until I want to show it to the world, right? Oh boy. I would say that this guitar is ready to go live, and the guy that owns this guitar is a guitarist for a local metal band. They hardly ever play live. I don't know why that is, aside from there's probably not a huge demand for metal in our community. I don't know, couldn't tell you. But yeah, this guitar will be on stage again. I hope he enjoys it. We did a pretty major alteration to this guitar from where it's been, having 10 gauge strings on it, moving them to 9s, and then tuning it to D standard. I'm hoping that he enjoys this new string gauge. Then I'll let him know that if he doesn't like it, or if the strings feel a little bit too loose, to maybe think about going to maybe 9.5s on it. I have no problem with 9.5. Those are great strings. Yeah. My knees hurt, guys. Yeah. Oh, this thing would do beautiful stuff. Axiom, hello. Yeah. Yeah. Right on. Well, what do you think? Have we done a good job on this thing? It's a pretty beautiful guitar. I like the natural wood finish. It does have some like weirdness going on in the finish here, but I might consider running a polisher over this thing, but I'm not going to do that today. It did have some sticky substance all over it that I was able to clean off. That was bugging the shit out of me. There's still a little bit left right here. Probably can't even see it. Yeah, there it is underneath my fingernail. That's the sticky shit. Oh, we're getting her cleaned up. So one last thing that I want to do is check our pickup height. I did not do that yet, so where is my measuring device for that? Probably there. No, there it is. It landed on the floor. Alright, so let's see what our pickup height is doing. Well, it's right where I had it set last time. It's exactly on the bass strings, and the pickups are a little bit low on the treble side, so I'm going to raise this pickup. Where's my Phillips? You got my Phillips driver over there? That little red and black one? Thought we used it to... Yeah. Thank you. Let me look. Yeah, we're down at 430 seconds, and I want that to be at 330 seconds on the treble side. You get them closer than that, and you're going to start killing the sustain of your guitar. There's no reason to run pickups super close to your guitar strings. And the way I set mine is the farthest note up the neck, which is as close as the string is going to get to those pickups. Set it with the note fretted right there. And the adjustments on these pickups is really nice. It moves very, very slowly. Right there, 330 seconds. 330 seconds on that. 430 seconds and 430 seconds. So this thing is dialed, ready to go home. So thank you, Nick, for bringing your guitar in. And keep an eye out for the band Nogiro. I don't think they'll ever do a video or anything like that. I don't know. It'd be cool if they did. We'd have some local music getting out there, but I don't know. They were recording an album here a while back, and I've never heard a note off of it. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love 9s on Floyd Rose guitars, and even tuned down to D or D standard. It's not drop D, this is D standard. They actually feel pretty nice. I could see easily getting used to them. So there you go, guys. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. Stay cool if you live in a hot, humid environment. And if you do live in a hot, humid environment, that's what I gotta say. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Hit the thumbs up if you would, that helps. Or hit the thumbs down, either way it helps. The interaction is wonderful. I appreciate y'all and your comments. Oscar, you know a lot about a lot of this stuff, and I really appreciate you hanging with me today. You seem to know a lot about instruments, and I really appreciate that. Gary, best of luck on the hockey game tomorrow morning. Get some good rest. Go cheer that little one on in the net. I love it, man. That's awesome. Have a great day.